that he may have something to share with those in need. Continue.
What verse was that?
That was the 29.
Go
That
to
was 28,
30.
the last verse I read.
Go down to 32.
32, okay. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. And do not grieve the Holy Spirit of God, with whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling, and slander, along with envy, along with any form of malice. Be kind and passionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you.
All right, so we got to substitute good habits for bad ones. Now, if you didn't, if none of that apply to you, then you ain't human.
Mm-hmm.
Some in that verse should have said, I need to do better. You don't have to say which one it is, but if you don't know where you fit, just start at verse 25 and go down to 32, and you'll find yourself getting there somewhere. You got to substitute good habits for bad habits, because we all got some stuff in us that we need to work out. It's very simple. Let's just suppose you were determined to watch less TV. So you turn it off, but then you sit in front of it with nothing else to do. What's gonna happen? You're gonna turn it back on, right?
Yes, you're gonna turn it on.
So how do we, if this is a habit and we want to change, then how can we avoid it? Get away?
Just find something.
Yeah, do something different.
But it's hard to do something different when this is something that you love.
Dr. said,
Huh?
The mindset.
Dr. said if you'll change your mind, you can set your mind, I'm not gonna do that anymore.
What if I tell you that really TVs are not for the bedroom?
I agree.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Well, why we all got one in them?
Because it's a natural thing, you know.
I mean, let's think back to, I think Deep may be maybe the oldest one in here, but let's just think back to, we grew up at home,
Right.
and we didn't have a TV in every room.
But you couldn't afford it.
Wait, hold on. There was a central TV, and you had to watch whatever was on that TV. All right, my cousin Teresa and Stephanie, me and Jamie, we grew up like brothers. So one of their rooms was the den. It actually was a bedroom, but they turned it into a den. And so one of the things that I couldn't get used to, because me and my siblings are so stretched out, all of us were the only child for a certain period of time. So I'm kind of used to doing things I want to do. So when I can go to spend the night over his house, some stuff he watched, I didn't watch. So we used to get into it. Thought he want to watch some. I couldn't go in my other room because, you know, that's off limits. She ain't letting nobody sit on the bed or nothing. Baby, you sit on her bed, you might get DDT slammed. Even when you went in her room, you had to stand. If she was in the bed, you could not sit on her bed. You had to stand up.
Oh my God.
And talk to her. That's their mama. I ain't lying. So there were some rules of the house. All right, I said all that to say this. So do you think that the reason that some of our habits are like they are is simply because we feed them?
Yeah.
You agree with that? We feed our habits? Because all of us got more than one TV in the house, right?
Yeah.
I would hope so. And even if you don't have a TV, if you don't have more than one TV in the house, if you got a smartphone, you got YouTube, you can watch whatever you want to watch. I got DirecTV, I got the DirecTV app on my phone. So if I want to watch something, I just go to the channel and watch it. All right, I can even record something from my iPad. I can tell my iPad to record something. I mean, so we have technology at our hand. So if the bedroom is for sleeping, And we have a habit of just, how many of y'all sleep with the TV on? That's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah. All right, some people gotta have it on. Some people, okay, so who can sleep with it off? I can do it. It don't bother me. All right. Okay. So the people that can sleep with the TV off, the people that can sleep with the TV off, then why would you go in your room if the TV is off, you turn it on? If you can sleep with it. If you go into your room to go to bed and you can sleep with the TV off, why do you turn it on?
Because I want to watch TV.
Because you want to watch TV.
Sometimes you don't be sleepy at the time.
Yeah.
You just watch TV until you get sleep.
Well, why don't you open the Bible?
Yeah, right.
You can take that time to read it.
That's true.
And I guarantee you'll go to sleep. Especially when you open that Bible, you open it.
Yeah. You're right. It be like,
when you wake up.
huh?
That's what you do when you first wake up, is you read.
Well, a lot of people, well, the Bible said early in the morning I seek thee. But most people not early morning people.
I ain't early morning, but
Yeah.
that's what I do now.
Yeah. Yeah, it works different ways for different folks. Some people do it in the morning, some people do it in the evening. Now,
But I tried it.
I'm gonna tell you this here. I'm gonna raise my hand because I know none of y'all gonna raise y'all hand. But I don't read the Bible every day. I do not read the Bible every fourth thing because I'm a preacher. Oh, you just be in the word all the time. No, I do not. I don't read the Bible every day. One reason I don't read the Bible every day because I went to Bible college and I went to 2 seminaries. All right, so I had to do a lot of reading that I had to do. So it's like I kind of know it well enough that I can kind of go to. It's just different. It's just different. So I don't read it every day, and I ain't you know I ain't on no reading plan that you read the Bible in 1 year. I don't do all that. Because I'm the type of person like if I'm reading something, if I know what's gonna happen at the end, I just turn on over to the good part. I ain't got time to be going through them D's and dials and you got this one. I skip all over that. I don't know. I mean that's just me. So we still talk about good habits and bad habits. So it's good. It's a good habit to start. You know, to look at your bedroom as where you go to sleep, not where you watch TV. If you want to watch TV. Sit up. How many of you got a recliner or something in your room that you can sit up in your room and watch TV? That's good. That means that you don't ask, because see, most people get in the bed, they, you know, my cousin just said she watch it because she want to watch it, you watch TV, fall asleep. 9 times out of 10, the TV's still on. Right? And so if you got energy saver on there, it'll go off in 4 hours. But then some of y'all, because y'all got that intuition, if the TV go off on energy saver, you'll wake up and turn it back on and turn it back on. Well, I just came down some of y'all room. Y'all might need to check and see if y'all scared to sleep in the dark.
I'm scared to sleep in the dark. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
scared to sleep in the dark. Always have been.
So if we look at verse 25 through 32, and let's just pick out some things. Verse 25 says in Ephesians 4, it says we should work and we should give to others instead of stealing. Now, I know ain't nobody gonna raise their hand that they stole. Nobody in this room gonna raise it. But now I just want to say this. Even when you steal time, it's stealing. When you text folk and tell them to clock you in. That's stealing time. That's why folk that went to the thumbprint. Most jobs, and get ready, it's coming to your job too. They go into the thumbprint because they tired of y'all. They know y'all texting folk and saying, you know, just clock me in, I'm gonna be a little late, and then you come in the side door and all that. That's stealing. Y'all don't look at it that way?
Yeah, that's true.
That's stealing. That's called stealing time.
Yep.
You get,
Stealing money too, so you get paid.
I'm gonna tell you this here. At UAP, there are nurses that will come and park on the curb, clock in, go back and park, and guess what they get? Guess what they getting done? They being fired. Cause you can't do that. You don't supposed to clock in until you actually, when you come in, clock in. See, that's why that's why I go to work early before time, 30, 45 minutes. I have time to do everything. Now, I will clock in when I get there. And I'm gonna leave early if I clock in early. That ain't stealing. If I'm supposed to be at work, if I'm supposed to be work till 8 o'clock, and I clock in at 7:15, I'm leaving at 2:15.
Well, what is your time to come
Because guess what? I can't work no overtime.
But
So I got to work 8 hours. I ain't stealing. I just came here early.
What is your time to work, though? What is your time to work?
My time to work is 8 o'clock.
And then-
But guess what? But see, I really do what I want to do. Huh? Yeah, I can clock in early. Look, this the thing. Long as I don't go over them 8, I'm good to go.
So you saying you can come in at 2 o'clock in the morning if you want to?
I have done it.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, I
That's
came
your
in
job.
at 5 o'clock. I'd have clocked in at 5 o'clock in the morning and left at 11.
Well, that's your
Yeah,
job.
see,
Your
I'm
job.
different. I'm
Yeah.
different. I ain't like,
Yeah.
I ain't got no sense. I'm different. All right. So, now that ain't stealing. All right. So, and just be honest. Don't, if you working an 8-hour shift, you ain't working, unless you working at a manufacturing plant, you ain't working no 4 or 8 hours. You ain't working no 4 or 8 hours. Let's just be honest. All right. So the Bible says, let's just get on this list because y'all want me to stay on this stealing, but I ain't gonna stay on it. He says in verse 1, we need to work and we need to give to others instead of stealing. All right. I'm gonna come back to the give to others. Then in verse 28, he says we should speak good instead of evil. Now you ain't got to raise your hand. You ain't got to say that. But if you always, I'm literally a person that always got the tea about everything. Somebody write about that. Who made you the national tea expert? Who done designated you to know everything about it? Some ain't right now. Some ain't right. You gotta watch a person that know about everything. You gotta watch that. Why y'all looking like that? Y'all wanna say something on that? So we gotta speak good instead of speaking evil. It's a habit, it's a practice. You gotta practice it. I found out that once folks know what you gonna listen to and what you not gonna listen to, 9 times out of 10, they ain't even gonna bother you with that.
You're right about that.
I mean, and I got to the point where, you know, when some people tell me certain stuff, after they get through telling me, then I have to, in my mind, say, now, why did you tell me? What is your motive for telling me? It ain't gonna help me one bit to know that somebody will talk about me. I mean, that ain't, okay. But what did you say?
Right.
See, that's my issue right there. And then you gotta watch people that try to get close to you. Because some people got motives.
Yes, Lord.
Okay, all right. So he says, speak good instead of evil. Then verse 29, here's a big one. He says, now, I'm gonna go and tell y'all, this is me right here. Verse 29. Now, I got the kindness part. I got that good. I can be kind. But now that forgiveness and that anger and that bitterness, that just wiped me out right there. I just got to lay on the altar back there. It's a bad habit. I got to learn how to turn that around. But it's hard to turn that around when all I'm selling is Jesus and folks still talking about you. See, I can expect that from the folk outside the church. But it's hard when it's the folk inside the church. And I want to tell you something about relationships, friendships, be it romantic relationship or whatever. You got to watch people because here's the thing, and you can really tell what people thought about you because once people are done using you, then that's when you become the worst person in the world.
You better say that two or three times.
See, folk that I used to pastor, I'm the best things when I was there. But now that I'm gone, I'm the slum of the earth.
Right.
But I can't be that bad because God's still using me.
Yeah.
So you'll get bent out of shape. Letting people, letting the negativity get to you. You gotta really kind of channel your anger and kind of tune that out. It's hard, but you gotta do it. But he says you gotta forgive, you gotta show kindness, and you don't need to be angry, and you don't need to be bitter. Now that's a whole lot. That's not Paul. I'm not talking. You won't get the help because that's a whole lot. But that's a whole lot in one verse. 31 and 32. That's a whole lot cause I can be kind, but it's hard to be kind to folks that ain't kind to you.
That's right.
It's just our human nature.
That's right.
Because you ain't in the spiritual. Let somebody, you on your job early in the morning, you speak to somebody and they don't open their mouth. That you through with them the rest of the day. You ain't got that for them. Perfect example, last night. Okay, the election was last night. Okay, I lost the election. See, I was getting pissed off. Because what folk were doing, see, there's a time and there's a place. See, you got to let folk feel how they feel when they need to feel it.
Right.
I was mad at every African American that I knew in my district last night. All right? So then folk coming on the post talking about, pray about it. Hell, pray. It ain't time to pray. It's too late. 25% of the folk only voted. And the votes that I got, 65% of the votes that I got were white folk. So I'm saying, y'all want me to pray? I ain't want to hear none of that. I started just going on Facebook, just go out. I said, I got to calm down. I'm talking about somebody put on that prayer hug. Ladies, get on now. Then I was looking at the lights. I said, it was 200 something. I said, if I would have got 200 something votes, these lights. I mean, the reality of the matter is this. And so I want to tell folks, but see, folks be trying to be spiritual at the wrong time.
Wait 2 or 3 days later.
Yo, I mean, you talking about, well, we praying and God got something better for you. God, gone on. I'm telling you, it took all I had not to buck on Facebook. I wanted to buck so bad, but I said, see, if I buck, somebody gonna come on here and somebody, you don't need to act like that, you a preacher. I ain't ready to be no preacher. So you gotta, but that's a habit, you gotta practice it. So because we're human, here's the thing that we must understand. Because you're a human and you have feelings, people do hurt your feelings. All right? And it's okay for you to feel offended. All that's okay. But what we try to press folk feelings down, we try to over spiritualize it. Well, the Lord gonna eat. Whatever. She ain't speak to me, and I spoke to her, I got an issue. And the Lord's going to work on my heart, but I ain't going to let him work right now. You just got to be true with yourself.
That's right.
Yeah, not right now. Not right now. And then here's the thing. Let me tell you about anger, and let me tell you about bitterness. And what you got to understand is you can't make folk be ready to forgive you or to talk to you when you ready. You can't do that. That's unfair. If the person want to be mad, they got to process that. They got to do all that. First thing, I woke up this morning. I went to sleep last night. Here's my opponent that tagged me in something. Talking about, we ran a good race and I hope you support it. Sir. Sir. Now, I know what we said before the election. But sir, I really want to tell you to go somewhere. It was just too early, too soon for that. Give me some space, give me some time to just let me be how I want to be. Then I ask the Lord to smooth my heart out, and then I'll be. But I gotta be. I'm angry. I mean, I was. I'm better now. So you gotta show kindness. You gotta show forgiveness instead of anger and bitterness. So that's easier said than done. Like I said, you gotta practice it. We gotta practice it. We gotta take those bad habits and we gotta make them good habits. All right. So here's the thing. The author says something about this. This is interesting. Nature hates a vacuum. He says, remove the air from a bottle, and it will try to get back in. fill the bottle with something else, and the air stays out. So your life cannot stay a spiritual void. It will either fill with good or evil. We got to replace bad habits with good, and the bad is less likely to return. So that's true. Because guess what? I'm done with politics. It's over with for me. I can't do it because, see, I'm trying to stay saved and go to heaven. There's no way I'm going to be saved and go to heaven. I can't do it. I can't do it. Because I don't know. It's a shame, and I'm just talking about our folk. We got to offer our folks something for them to get up off their posterity and do what they need to do. There is no way. There are 16,000 registered voters in the city of Northwood, about 17,000. Only 8,000 folks. Well, no, it wasn't that many. It wasn't that many. It was about 4,000. 4,000 people registered yesterday. So voted yesterday. So I said all that to say this. You got to understand that, and I say this all the time, that there are things that you can do for yourself that you can't put on God. That's just all there to it. You need a job, keep laying in bed till 12 o'clock. You ain't getting one.
That's right.
You ain't getting one. And then be realistic with yourself. I got some people, they looking for jobs. Okay, you ain't got but a high school education. Why are you applying to DCH for RN jobs? You ain't gonna get the job. Then you talking about, I'm out here trying. You ain't qualified. How you gonna do? I'm waiting on God to move on my behalf. How you gonna move? These folk gotta have RN. Did you know what RN means? It don't mean real needed. I'm just saying. All right. So you got to substitute good habits for bad ones. All right. Everybody got any comments on this before I go to the next one? Because the next one we gonna make sure they on there for a few minutes. All right. So we got to work on those of you that need to turn off the TV. Work on turning off the TV. I mean, work on it. It's a habit. It's a bad habit. You got to learn. I'm gonna tell you what helped me. I had to go to the sleep. See, some of y'all, if you ever have to go to the sleep clinic, you ain't gonna make it. You got to go to a sleep study. Cause see, they got the TV in there, but a certain time when they get ready to do the sleep study, they make you turn the TV on. See, some of y'all wouldn't make it. I got mad when the lady told me. It was like 9:30. She was like, "Okay, sir." I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "It ain't never 9:30." Well, we gotta start to sleep. I ain't sleeping. Over there with Dr. Snow. I ain't sleeping. I ain't sleeping. Yeah.
I woke up the next day and I was looking for the remote and I asked the lady, I said, "What remote?" She said, Y'all people that gotta have y'all ain't gonna make it. Y'all, they make do. All right, so we got to substitute our good habit for bad ones. We all agree with that. All right, so you gotta understand this. For every bad habit you put off, find some useful activity to put in its place. So for every bad habit you have, you gotta find something to put in place of it. That's too much like right. Oh, what you say? You don't want to do that? "You know, you can fold the clothes up that's in that right."
I ain't finna say nothing like that. It's hard. I think that's the worst thing in the world. I'd rather shell peas and suck corn. That folds some clothes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I go back to my brother house. I'll shell some peas and suck some corn if I fold some clothes. It just seems like it don't never end. And then this, let me tell you something. Now I gotta work on this. When we talk about, bad habits, like I'll watch, they know I'll watch, but this is the thing that irked me. Now, it ain't my responsibility to go in your room and to try to find your clothes. If they ain't in where they supposed to be, and it pisses me off when somebody come in. Now, while you washing, you done got the stuff separated. They coming in there. I get so mad. I will not wash it. Because I just think it Kurt, if you know somebody gonna, okay, we wash on Friday. You know we gonna wash on Friday. What you need to do, you need to have your, either I'm gonna wash in the morning, I'm gonna wash at noonday. Now y'all need to have y'all stuff together. Yeah. But then they get home from school. Oh, Dad, you wash the white clothes? Yes! Oh, I had some white. They'll make it next week. How you doing? Y'all pray for me. That's a bad habit. I'm sorry. I'm just like, it is. That's bad. I mean, because that hurts me. And see, some of that come from every Saturday morning, I had to go to the laundromat with my mom.
Oh my God.
We go to the rummage sale, then we go to the wash. I'm like, Lord, I promised the Lord and 2 or 3 respectable black people that when I got grown, I was not going to the, even the baby house, I was not going to no washateria, all right? All right, so for every bad habit you put on, you got to find something good to put on, all right? So what you going to replace with your TV watching? I don't know. Maybe you need to read a book. Anybody, you know, there are some good books. I tell people this, and they don't believe this. Reading novels that turn into movies, the books are better than the movie.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of stuff that the movie leave out. That novel, you know, like Color Purple. If you never read Color Purple, then you need it. You really miss it. It's more than season Harpo and all that. But read the novel. It's good. So that's something, and I know a lot of people saying I don't like to read. Well, that's how folk hide stuff. A lot of knowledge that I know is because I read paper. I don't see this what folk don't understand too. Watch Tuscaloosa News. If you get a paper, you know that's one thing. I mean, you get a paper, stuff that be in the paper, a lot of it don't be online. Like you can see a story online, it ain't gonna make the paper. Cause guess what? It's some stuff that they don't want. They know you ain't gonna read it. So they kind of nestle in the eye. That's just food for thought. All right, so let's go to the next one. If you go to Matthew 6, go to Matthew 6, verse 13. All right, so the next one is avoid temptation. Holy Ghost. Y'all, I put in my notes, y'all gonna get quiet. But temptation is more than what you think it is. It just ain't one dimension. Matthew 6:13, D, read that.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For if you forgive men when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
All right.
But if you do not forgive men their sin, your Father will not forgive your sin.
All right, so that's enough for us to forgive folk right there. We need to forgive so we can be forgiven. That's enough for me. I'm sorry. We can stop right there. That's it. Can't close the book. That's enough. I need to be forgiven. So if I need to be forgiven, then you need to be forgiving. Now, understand that forgiveness does not mean that I have to allow you back in the same space that you once were. Some of you that got baby daddies and baby mothers and have been divorced, you forgive them folk, but they can't come back.
Veronica said, what if you get mad every time you think about it? Have you really
Forgive them.
Well, forgiveness is a process. I think we forgive, we keep forgiving.
Yeah.
And true forgiveness is when it don't hurt no more. Like when you got a chance to do evil to a person and you don't do it, that means you show nothing to forgive. But see, it's still some folk, if they on the side of the road, I might pass them by. I'm just being, see, y'all trying to be all deep. There's some folk in my life, I'd have forgave them, but if I saw them on the side of the road, I still wouldn't stop. I ain't there yet. It's a process. Forgiveness, not that it ain't hurt, not that it still hurt me, I just ain't ready. I ain't. See the baby, she on it. All right. So we gotta avoid temptation. So he says we should pray that we don't be led into temptation. We gotta pray that we're not led into temptation. Now, let's talk about temptation. We all got it. We all see it every day, every hour. But I want to tell you, it's how you respond to it. It's everywhere. You want to die. That's when you're going to get a sweet tooth. I told y'all about them cookies. They ate some more of my cookies. I just preached about the cookies Sunday. Here I go. I buy me some Oreos, double stuff. Put them in the refrigerator. A whole row gone. But this time it wasn't carrot. It wasn't Carol this time. It was John Michael. And he said, well, you talked about the cookie Sunday, so I thought we could have some. You hear what you want to hear. So we gotta avoid, it's just, you know, stuff that you say, okay, this is it, I ain't gonna do this no more. Okay, I'm gonna stop this. The very thing that you say you gonna stop, that's what it's just ever showing up in your face. Cause the devil know. Stuff be going on, you and your booty broke up. That's when you were running into somebody you ain't got no business running into. Hell to hell. I'm telling you, you got to avoid it, but you got to avoid it because the Bible says there's no temptation that he has not made a way of escape. If you want to get out, you can get out. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And so we got to avoid it. How do you avoid it? You got to resist the devil and he will flee. Listen, you can't play with stuff and think that you can take, oh, I'm strong enough to take that. I mean, that was my issue. Okay, you the alcoholic, and you keep on going to parties and folks keep on offering you drinks and you fixing drink, you sitting at the bar. You won't take a drink after a while. You ain't gonna sit there and just drink you a Sprite with some what the stuff they put in there, cherry stuff, vinegar, yeah. You ain't just gonna sit there all night and just drink that, act like you drinking something with something in there. You gonna be tempted. And if you ain't careful, you'll yield to it. That's just how it is. But we gotta avoid it. So we should pray that we don't even be led in that direction. You gotta know when to stay away from certain stuff. Stay away from certain stuff. Stay away. What you laughing at, Rick? Why y'all ain't talking on this? Y'all sure no talking on the other part. Y'all talking. Evil company corrupts. Evil company corrupts good habits. Evil company corrupts good habits. Remember that. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. Many people think that they can return to bad company without returning to bad habits.
Veronica said, what do you work with?
Why Veronica can't open her mouth? Go ahead. What have you worked?
You work with them. You gotta work with them every day.
The temptation?
It's not to tell them off.
See, okay, let me give you the keys to that. The keys to this is this about these jobs, and hear me when I say this. If it don't affect your paycheck, don't make it your issue. Cause at the end of the day, you ain't there to make friends. You ain't there to go out with these people for drink after work. You there to get your money. And when you put that in perspective, the only thing you need to see on your job is dollar sign. And anybody or anything that gonna affect that, you don't need to be connected to them. And so you gotta treat them like that. But I think sometimes because we spend more time with people that we work with, we kind of develop a relationship with them, and you know we think we cool. I ain't listen. They just my co-workers. They just there's a few people that you know, okay, you know they cool. But then at the end of the day, if it's your job and their job, which one you gonna pick? Okay, then we ain't that cool. Lord, I'm down with you. I ain't that down with you. You finna get fired? Okay, God, I'm praying for you. God speak. All right. So evil company corrupts good habits. All right. So let's look at these. Let's look at some of the habits that we have. Let's look at them because we need to call those out. And I know we're scared to call them out because we look at temptation as one way, but temptation is everything. It's drinking, it's smoking, it's drug abuse, it's gambling, it's sexual promiscuity, all right? It's peer pressure. All of this are bad habits, and they need to be avoided. It's tempting. So how do we break such habits? How do we do that? How do we do it? We can't. And let me tell you something. You can't just say, this is what I'm gonna stop doing. I'm just gonna stop doing this right now from day one. No, you ain't gonna stop doing that. That thing, whatever it is, you can't stop on your own. Because if you could stop on your own, you will stop. You can't stop on your own because it's a habit. And so you gotta avoid that temptation. Now, I tell you this all the time, and you hear me say this all the time. What we have to do is understand that even temptation is a process. And if you're trying to do better, you ought to look back over your life and say, nah, it was a time. You know, it goes back to what I talked to y'all about. Some of y'all got mad. I don't care, but it was just the truth. But you got to understand about men. If you don't want to be fooled up with a man, don't give him your phone number.
That's right.
Because in our mind, if we have access to you, that means you like us. I'm serious. If you in the club or wherever you at, and you somebody after your phone number, and you don't want to be fooled, just like, dude, no, I'm good. I got somebody. Don't just say, well, I just gave my number because he got on my nerves. Wrong answer. Because in our mind, all we try to do is weigh you down. Carol didn't give me her phone number. I found it. She didn't give it to me. I said, call her. I got it from somebody. They gave it to me. I called her. Hey, what's up? She's like, oh, yeah. Child, that's a whole nother subject. Don't do that. That's a whole nother subject. She tried it, but I got her though. She wasn't ready. Snuck in. It was too late. Too late. All right. So you gotta understand. If you don't want to be bothered, ladies, if you don't want to be bothered up, because men are pursuers. We are hunters. That's what we do. We gonna ask for your phone number. We don't care about you telling us no now. Do understand that? That just means try again. Okay, guys, am I lying?
Nope.
All right, okay. I'm just trying to. So if you know that you are tempted with this individual, don't give them access to you. Don't do that. No kind of way. They don't deserve no access to you if you know that's a if you know that's a problem for you. You need to stay away. You got to resist the devil and he'll flee. You don't need to be around that. Because it's just like fire. You get close to it, you're going to get burned. Okay, y'all talk on that. Some of y'all got y'all head down. Y'all all right. Hold it up. Married friends and single friends. What you mean?
Married friends and single friends. I didn't know. That's he's always told
Oh, your dad?
me. My dad.
Well, I'll say this. It's all about the individual. I have single friends. Carol has single friends. We got married friends. You know, there are just you have to set up some rules. You have to set up some boundaries. You know, I had a friend that went to prison, and you know, sometimes when folks in prison, they, you know, whenever they went in, they think the world stopped. So when they get out, they just think, well, I just pick up. So he was in for 15 years. All right? Yeah, right out of high school. So he called me. And he was like, man, you know, what's up, man? You know, we want to hang out? I'm like, bro. I said, bro, you know I'm married, right? He's like, yeah, but you know, we still. I said, sir. Well, the places we used to go. Sir, I cannot go no more. So he thought I was acting funny, and I had to explain to him, hey man, I'm married, I got a child. I can't, you know, I can't be hanging out all the time tonight, man. I can't be, you know, I used to stay out. I got somebody to answer to. You know, I just can't be out. You know, I'm on the time schedule, so I might go somewhere before 10 o'clock. I got to be in the house. That's just how it is. So he was like, dude, you acting funny? No, I ain't acting funny, bro. I mean, just, I'm married. See, when you single, you come in when you get ready. That's what you do. I mean, but when you married, there ain't too many spouses gonna let you come in at no 2, 3 o'clock to my time. Been out with the girls. Devil. Got on board temptation. So people can't be married and have single friends, but there just has to be a boundary. Right. Now, one thing that that's hopeless, so I ain't even gonna go there. They'll take all night. All right, so.
I got something to say.
Yeah.
Then a joker get in a feeling when you try to say, hey, you do tell him, hey, no,
yeah.
bro, that's all right.
Yeah.
Got mad.
Well, they gonna do that.
I'm trying to say to you, brother, because I'm really not interested.
Yeah, right.
And I really mean that. I will.
Yeah.
Got in his feelings.
Yeah, we'll do that. He must really like you. Got it. Yeah, you trying to help him avoid temptation. Holy Ghost. All right. Yeah, it's like, but it goes back to what I said before, one time before too, and I told y'all this. Date, man. Date. Understand that when you go out on date, you go out to get something to eat, just let it be what it is. Just be straight up. And I tell dudes that I counsel, quit lying to these women like y'all want a relationship.
Yeah.
Quit fronting. Say it up from the get. Listen, I'm lonely, I just broke up with my girl, just want somebody. Just be truthful. Instead of acting like you want a relationship, then on the back end, when you feel to get involved, then you want to, okay, avoid temptation. So what? Oh, I think temptation, and I put this in for my own personal notes. I think temptation is far more difficult when friends urge us to continue in them. See, some of these friends we got to cut these folks off. Y'all know they ain't no good. All they do is run women and run men. You know they ain't no, they just tricking. You don't need that. So you mean, that's just my homeboy. We been home. It's some homeboys I had to cut them off because they just, we ain't in the same direction. We cool. But what you doing, I just can't subscribe to. And so a lot of people get caught up because they don't know when to cut folk off. You got to know when to cut folk off to avoid that temptation. Why y'all so quiet? Anybody got anything to say on that?
Well, I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a shopping habit.
Mm.
I love shoes,
Yeah.
purses, and clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go in the store and you see that shoe for $50 and you go back and see it for $7.99, so I got to leave out and come get the shoe.
Well,
I just want to know.
well,
That what you work for?
Now, what y'all say? Oh, $50 to $7.99. You gotta get that. Yeah, you gotta get that. But you really got a problem when every time you go in the store, you have to get something. Right. You got an issue. Every store you go in, I can go in the store and shop for free. And just look. Come on out. That's a habit.
What? Somebody going in the store?
Going in the store, you gotta get something.
No, I don't have to get money every time I go, but
That's
I
right.
just like to go.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I
I
go all the time.
Most females, that's what y'all do. Y'all like to shop. That makes y'all
I
happy.
do. It does.
Most females, I ain't say all of them, I said most.
Yeah.
But see, men, we on the whole, cause see, I gotta talk myself into buying something for me. Cause I can think of, okay, it's the end of the month. First of the month bill coming up in a few days. So I could go to Joe's Lake Bank and buy this $700 suit. I could go. But then next week gonna be looking crazy. And then let me tell you something else. This is another thing. When you look at temptation, I know folk that go buy stuff and take stuff back.
Yeah.
What you do? I'm talking about this is their habit. They got a problem. They'll go buy stuff. I'm talking about a whole bunch of stuff. And then take it back. Yep. Well, what you bought it for?
Because you didn't feel like trying it on.
No, you got a problem. You got a problem. You got a problem. You got to avoid it. All right. So temptation is everywhere. All right. Anybody else got any nice temptations?
Oh, that wasn't a nice temptation?
Yeah, that was a nice temptation.
Okay then. I didn't want to know.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Okay, I'm going on. Oh, two more. So when we talk about temptation, here's the thing that we gotta do. We gotta too often this is what people say, I ain't gonna drink, I ain't gonna dance, I ain't gonna gamble. I'm going to the casino, but I ain't gonna do that. Shut up. Who go to the casino without the intentions? What you going all the way down there for? Oh, I'm going down there to eat. The devil. That's just like you saying, I'm going out to eat just to look at other folks. My sister, when I went to St. Listen, when I went to St. Louis, I was by myself. When none of y'all there, the folk didn't really know me. The hotel I stayed in, I could have walked to the casino in St. Louis. I could have walked there. I mean, really, it was 2 blocks.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I said, well, this is a bad time. I ain't got no time. I ain't got no money to lose. I don't need to go. Then some of the preachers said, man, we just going over here to eat. Yeah, they got a midnight ribeye, all you can eat ribeye for $9.99. Now I love ribeye. I said the bone in them or the bone? He said the bone. They said the bone in them. I said, what time y'all say it's started? They said we started at midnight. I said, man. I said that sound good. I said, but I know me. I said I get in there. Y'all won't see me the rest of the trip. So you gotta know what you can handle and what you can't handle. At that moment, because none of y'all were there, no church people was there, nobody was there from Alabama. It was see, I could have got away with it. You gotta rationalize with yourself, you gotta talk to yourself. Y'all wouldn't have known nothing about it. And if I would have won, I wouldn't have told nobody. I wouldn't have said nothing. So I could have actually got away with it, but because I didn't want to be put in that position, I just simply stayed back. Okay? Thank you for the kind of clap. All right. Yeah. Hey, if I would have hit, and put it on you, me rock, I would have said, hey, Oasis. I already sent for carrying the boys. A check is on the way. Y'all get y'all somebody. Ain't lying. All right. Y'all think that's why the Lord won't let me win. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna quit. I promise I'm quit. I ain't gonna quit the Lord, but I'm gonna quit you. Let's go. All right. So the last one is this. You gotta avoid temptation, and then you gotta face one day at a time. Face one day at a time. Matthew 6:33 and 34 says we shouldn't worry about tomorrow. You know, face one day at a time. Often people quit trying to serve God because they overwhelmed by the sacrifices required to live. And so people got to understand, you got to practice. It's day to day. It's day to day. Some days you do good, some days you don't. But that don't mean that you got to, just conk out. Sometimes you get up each morning, promise yourself and God that you're going to live for God. And sometimes you do that. Then some days you get up and you got hell in you. That's just how it is. That don't mean you ain't saved. All right, people say I got up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't believe in that because if I can get up, it's a good sign. But now I might have issues, stuff might be going on, folk might have made you mad. But you got to live day by day, one day at a time. I think we let things that we cannot control just really nudge at us. You can't control. Those of you, I wouldn't say people with grown children, but especially those with grown children, you can't control what your children do. So why you stand up? Go to bed. They're going to bed because they're going to do what they're grown. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. Even with my children, I want them to do well. But at the end of the day, if it ain't in their mind to do it, they ain't going to do it. It ain't my fault because they're individuals. And I think sometimes people subject themselves with things and they blame themselves for things that they cannot control. Let me tell you something. You trying to control somebody else when you can't even control yourself. You can't control yourself. You know why you can't control yourself? You can't be trusted. Oh, yes, I can be trusted. Let me tell you how you know you can't be trusted. When you made the worst mistake of your life, who you were with? Yourself. You did it. You did it. You shouldn't have went out. Yeah, you shouldn't have went out. The only good thing that you got out of that is a beautiful child. Yeah. You can't be trusted. You can't be trusted. So when you understand like that, you'll understand, listen, one day at a time. One day at a time. The older that I get, the more mature I get that I understand that half of this stuff that I worry about ain't even worth my time. It ain't worth my time. I'm looking at my mama and I'm looking at my daddy every day. Aging. Aging. And so the reality of the matter is that one day I'm gonna have to deal with it. It's right there in my face. Yeah, because nobody want to think, you think your parents gonna be here forever. But that's just in our mind. But the reality of the matter is we gotta take it day by day. Some days it's cool. Some days not. Mom went to the doctor the other day, said, my mama dead. She went to the doctor. She always fussing with the doctor and tell the doctor what she ain't gonna do. And all that. And so the doctor said, well, hey, you're doing pretty good, but your lung. Mama done popped off on the man. I got a lung disease, don't you? I'm being ready, but the older they get feisty and all that kind of stuff.
Baby,
So,
her niece right there.
hold on. All right, the last one. I ain't even gonna deal with it. So we gotta face one day at a time. I ain't gonna go there. I want to tell you this: 2 men were climbing a steep path.
Now, you need to get them now. They talking about me.
I'm gonna take care of it.
Okay.
2 men were climbing a steep path up a tall mountain. One looked at the top and asked, "How will we ever make it?" The other replied, "One step at a time." That's the only way for you to change yourself. One step at a time. You can't change yourself overnight. I think people that's the thing about being a Christian, being saved. We think, when you get saved, you join the church, you've been baptized, you gotta quit, you can't go to the club, you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't do nothing. You just gotta stop it because you gotta live for the Lord. You can't change yourself overnight. You can't do it. I don't know why we try to make folks change themselves overnight. You can't do it. It's a process. All right, last one. You got to be patient. That's easier said than done, ain't it? We got to be patient. Galatians 6 says, let us not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not, if we don't lose heart. You got to understand that our habits didn't develop overnight. So, if it didn't develop overnight, it ain't going to disappear overnight. See, the problem with us is, let's just talk about weight loss, because that's one of the things I struggle with. See, you didn't gain all that weight overnight. So why do you think a miracle pill you're going to be able to take? And I'm done with that. And you think you're going to lose it overnight? You ain't gain it overnight.